this is Bonnie, and I have some new products, Sherri Baldy products to share with you today, and we're going to be making a project. So let's get started with the supplies. First of all, as you can see right here, Sherri is now doing SVGs, and this is called the Cupcake border, and it comes in you get it in two ways. You get it with a background, and you get it with an outline, and they cut beautifully. They're wonderful, and it's very delicate. And so that's the first thing I wanted to show you. When you do cut this out, make sure that you also keep the cutouts from the outline, because we will be using part of that for our project today. And also she is doing paper packs, and this paper pack is called Cupcakes, and there's several papers in this pack. I'm going to be using a part of this one and also this entire sheet for our project today. And the other thing that you're going to be needing just to add to this that is not a Sherri Baldy's product is any embossing folder that has lines in it, because once we get done with cutting this out, the cupcake border, we're going to enhance it by doing some embellishing to it. And one of the things that I use is a line embossing folder. The other thing we're going to be using is Stamp Penda's shaved ice. So let's get started. The first thing I want to show you is that I did cut out the cupcake border twice. I cut it out in this is kind of like a dark cream, and actually the paper that I used was more of a sturdy cardstock. It wasn't the real thin paper cardstock. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and show you this. I've already cut this out, and wanted to just show you how easy and how wonderful these new SVGs are. I did use my Cameo Silhouette. I am a new user to Cameo. I've done Cricut and I've done Gypsy, but I hadn't done the Cameo yet. This is just so wonderful. So basically you just peel this off, and I'm sure a lot of you have the spatulas. I have not purchased a spatula for the Cameo yet, but it still works. So that's the background. This is a yellow. And then the fun part, this is the delicate outline, and it basically just peels right off. It's just perfect. Usually when I would use the Gypsy or the Cricut from before, if I were to try to cut anything as delicate as this, and if my mat was not really sticky, it would totally tear it up. And so I'm super excited to be able to make these instead of having to just use dies. Usually I use anything delicate, I'd only use dies. So anyway, I just wanted to show you, look how easy that was. I mean, I did that totally on live time, and it's perfect. So I just wanted to show you, I'm going to be using the bottoms of the inside of this for my cupcake wrappers. And then I showed you previously how I did the white. So I'm going to be putting those two things together. So let's get started. All right, my first step was to use the embossing folder, and I lined up the tiny cupcake wrappers so that the lines would work to look like paper wrappers. So I just wanted to show you how that turns out when you do that. See if you can see that. So those are going to be my cupcake wrappers for the bottom of my border. All right, so I am working on the tops of the cupcakes right now, and what I've done is I've put a generous amount of decoupage glue on top of each one of the cupcakes, and I'm going to be using the shaved ice, and I am just going to be sprinkling that on top of each one of these cupcake tops, and then I will be adding them to the back of the border strip to make a 3D look. It's actually 2D look cupcake border. So that's what you do first, and I'm letting that set till it dries a little bit before I add that. I will use foam dots tape to the back. I kind of always press down a little bit just to make sure that it adheres better to the glue. And like I said, I use decoupage glue. You can use any glue. So that's going to be my cupcake tops. Now I want to show you what I've done so far with the strip. Let's see if I can get a little bit closer. There we go. As you can see, these are the embossed cupcake wrappers that we've already done. I left one undone so I could show you what I did. I just put a little bit of foam tape on the back and just going to peel that off, and I'm going to press that down. So right now you're probably wondering, why am I not using that beautiful outline? I'm going to use it for another, I'm going to have another choice. So probably pretty much going to have, by cutting out 3, I'm going to have several ways to be able to use this. So it's going to be really helpful for when I'm making cards if I want to make several. But anyway, this is all I'm doing so far. And then I'm going to foam dot the icing to the top, frosting to the top of this also. So I'm going to finish letting this dry, and then I'm going to come back and show you what it looks like. I discovered something as I was filming, that you can also take a coordinations paper that you can sand and emboss, and you can get another look. Now this in itself doesn't look like cupcakes, but once you go ahead and put this on top, it looks like the swirls to the top of cupcakes. And then I'm going to still add the cupcake wrappers below and give that a look. Another thing I'm going to show you is you can put your dimensional magic glue or anything like that. This happens to be the Mod Podge dimensional magic glue, and that will give it a shiny look. So I'm going to go ahead and do that too, and we will have a couple different looks that you can do just with one SVG. For this last one, which will make our third one, is I already showed you how I cut it out of yellow. This is the outline. What I did is I took my Copic marker, I actually used E29, and I just colored, I don't know if you can see that, I just colored in the bottom part that would be the wrapper. I just colored that in. Then the other thing I did was I took the background and I ran it through my lined embossing folder. So this one will be a little bit simple too, and then I'm going to just put this on top, and then I'm just going to keep the frosting basic. So I'm going to put that together, and I'm going to show you the finished product. Alright, so I found what I'm going to use to decorate the rest of the cupcakes. I needed something for the cherry on top, and what I'm using is a sequin with a little gem in the center. As you can see right there, that's the, if you can see it, if I actually get it close or not. Yeah. So anyway, I've got 3 different versions, as I told you. This one right here, what I did, I think I told you, is I just colored in the bottom part of it with a Copic marker to give me a little bit of contrast. I'm going to go ahead and show you how I put the last one of each one of these in a row together. This is just the frosting, and I've already put the sequin on top with a gem, and it just goes right on top of that. And then I use some baker's twine, and I also put those bows on the cupcake as well. Quickly do that and show you that row will be finished, or that border. And so that's one of the borders you can put on your card or even on a scrapbook page. The next one I showed you at the beginning, and all this one needs is the frosting with the shaved ice glitter. Oh, and it also needs a little gem. I'll have to put a gem on that too. So that's that one completed. I'll get them a little bit closer. They're really, really, really sweet. I think you can see the dimension to that. And then the last one is I went ahead and did one, as I told you, with chocolate frosting. And as you can see, I went ahead and embossed that whole underneath part, and I sanded it. So you can see down here that if I don't cover that up, then you can still see it. So anyway, I went ahead and made the cupcake wrapper, and I went through and put that through the embossing folder to give it the lines. And then the next thing I did is to make it a little bit shiny. I don't know if you can see that that's shiny. So it looks like real chocolate. is I use that dimensional paint or dimensional glue. So I'm going to go ahead and show you really quickly what it is. Like I said, it's really nice because I've got that little bit of a lip, although this usually seems to keep it in place even without a lip. But that's all I do is I fill that in with a dimensional glue and let that dry, and then I'll be able to add that sequin and gem to the top of that once that's dry, just with a glue dot. So there you have it, 3 different ways to create your Sherri Baldy's My Besties cupcake borders. Super, super fun. She also has a single cupcake, and she also has a cupcake with a flourish in the center. It's super cute. So you need to check out Scrapbook Stamp Society, where all the SVGs are for sale. And you can also, don't forget that we usually have a 50% off coupon, and I will put that below in the description. I will have the links to the Scrapbook Stamp Society in the description also. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'm still going to use the cupcake paper that I showed you at the beginning. I'm going to turn that into a card, and I'm going to make that into another video. So thanks for watching.